Yo, what's up YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. In my video, I will be reacting to Naruto Uzumaki is returning and Boruto 2 Blue Vortex in a big way now. As you guys know, Kawaki put Naruto and Hinata in a different dimension, but we're going to see how Boruto is going to be able to rescue them, and we're going to see what's going to happen with Naruto's and Sasuke characters when they do get out, and when Naruto and when the other people finally realize that it was Ada who changed everything from the beginning. Let's get into this video. And the 6th chapter of Boruto 2 Blue Vortex is coming out soon. Stay tuned.
Hello everybody, it's your boy Naruto Explain here, bringing you guys another Boruto 2 Blue Vortex discussion. Today I want to talk to you guys about a rather interesting line we got in the newest manga chapter that woke up the millions of Naruto Uzumaki fans out of their slumber that they went into the moment that Kawaki sealed away Naruto, and they all said collectively that, hey, Naruto's no longer in the story, so I ain't reading this no more. Because the new chapter has dropped and it has a tease that Naruto Uzumaki is going to be coming back into the story in a very meaningful way, which means all of the Naruto fans who entered into that oh so glorious depression, they're now doing their happy dance celebration of the pending return of Naruto. However, now that we have this information, what does this mean for the future of the series, and what impact will this have on the story moving forward? Well, in today's Naruto Explain video, we'll be explaining why this is a big deal, how this plot line with Naruto being the target of one of the Shinju is actually linked to the 3 jewels of Buddhism and the deity that is associated with those jewels, and how it all goes back to Kawaki awakening those extra spokes of his Dharma wheel when he sealed away Naruto into that Daikoku dimension, which all you longtime viewers of the channel, you're probably all saying the same thing. Naruto Explained is going on and on about mythology and Buddhism and Japanese religion. It's almost like Japanese man writes Japanese story and has Japanese references. But we'll touch on that later. So in the new chapter, we learned that Boruto's warning to Code about the Claw Grimes changing, and that the true threat of the Ten Tails being something that Code doesn't truly understand actually runs a lot deeper than we expected. The Shinju are evolving.
Understand the true horror of the Ten Tails, and that Sasuke got captured by one of them too. So Boruto not only has to rescue Naruto and Hinata, but he has to save Sasuke as well. It's going to get interesting, but as the story of Boruto progresses, Boruto is just going to keep getting stronger and stronger. I see it. So far, the story of Boruto 2 Blue Vortex is good.
And it's because of the chakra they consume from the people who they eat that they are changing and growing their own will, which is influenced by the people who they have eaten. This new leader of these Shinju, the one who is named Jura, reveals that he has a strong instinctual desire to consume Naruto Uzumaki, and this is a major revelation for a few big reasons. As Shinju, it's in their nature to want to consume Otsutsuki, someone like Ishiki or Kaguya, or Otsutsuki vessels like Boruto and Kawaki and Jigen. Either one of them would do for them. The more genetically Otsutsuki that the person is, the better the chakra fruit will be produced. However, as we know based off of Code's actions, the Shinju, they have changed. The Claw Grimes that he unleashed were suddenly trying to eat any human being in their path, even going so far as to want to eat someone like Chocho, who has nothing absolutely special about her. However, this new reveal that the Shinju have evolved to a point where they have specific people who they want to consume, and one of those people being Naruto Uzumaki is a welcome development, as well as a very alarming development. On one hand, the Shinju wanting to seek out specific people means that characters who were on the sidelines in Boruto Naruto Next Generations, or characters who are poised to make giant leaps in power in the time skip between Boruto Naruto Next Generations and Boruto 2 Blue Vortex, those characters, they now have relevancy. But Naruto being targeted is our issue that we have to discuss. Naruto is currently sealed away in another dimension, and nobody should be able to sense his chakra. Time doesn't move in that space for anyone except for the caster of the Daikoku Shinjutsu, which is Kawaki, because he sealed him away. Yet this new villain Jura appears to be able to sense Naruto enough to a point that he's actively following his instinct to consume Naruto, And in hindsight, the foreshadowing has always been there, despite Kawaki wanting to keep Naruto tucked away safely. There were going to be those who could still sense him faintly enough to know that he's still alive. In Chapter 1 of Boruta 2 Blue Vortex, we got told that Himawari, despite everything and everyone telling her that her father was dead, Himawari was still able to sense her father was alive out there somewhere, but she couldn't put into words why she was so confident that her father was still out there. Now we have a Shinju basically saying the exact same thing. The signs are pointing towards someone eventually getting Naruto out of that dimension, and now that one of these Shinju is specifically targeting Naruto, and Ada was able to see their conversation using her Shinrigan, it becomes more likely that Kawaki's made aware that Naruto is still in danger, despite him being sealed away. The Shinju named Jura said that he knew Naruto wasn't Otsutsuki, but he still had a strong urge and desire to consume him, and based off what we've seen with these Shinju, as their urges grow stronger, they have a tendency to act on them, and the rapid acceleration of their independence means that sooner or later they're going to begin acting on those urges, and this Shinju Jura might actually have a way to get to Naruto that is going to put Kawaki in a very uncomfortable position. When we first saw Jura, many of us said, hey, he kind of looks like Jigen. He's flying in the air like an Otsutsuki, and he's mastering his chakra naturally like an Otsutsuki tends to do. In this new chapter, we see Jura and the Shinju in the same dimension, and Jura just happens to be leaning against a familiar black cube that happens to be linked to the Daikokuden dimension, where Jigen and Ishiki and Kawaki all happen to seal away objects and people. I don't think this is a mistake, and if you're a longtime viewer of the channel, you know that I specifically said back when Kawaki sealed away Naruto and we learned that the dimension that he sealed him away in was the Daikokuden dimension, I said, hey, we need to brush off that Asian Buddhism because it's part of Kishimoto's voice as a writer to reference such things in his writing, particularly when it comes to jutsu and characters, because there's something associated with Daikokuden that could give us future insight into the future of Naruto now that he's been sealed away. And lo and behold, we actually have it. Whereas Daikokuden on a surface level is the Shinto god of fortune and wealth. When you actually dive deeper into that, you see that there are different versions because each section of Asian religion has a different interpretation, and Kishimoto as a writer tends to mix and match them, and this is no different. The Shinto version of Daikokuden came from the Buddhist version, Mahakala, and another Shinto god, Okunanishi. But for this video, we're going to be focusing on Mahakala, who pops up in the Chinese Buddhism and has been viewed as a deity who runs through forests at night, and he has a horde of demons and ghosts with him. In some of the texts, he's actually referred to as being an evil god who steals the vital essence of human beings and devours those who he deems as having committed sin. In this chapter, we have a Shinju named Jura who wishes to seek out and devour Naruto. Jura is a Shinju, a god tree belonging to the Otsutsuki clan, a race that views themselves as being gods. Jura, in the eyes of myself and others, bears a resemblance to Jigen, but regardless as to if you think he's Jigen or Ishiki, or if you're someone who thinks that he's Gar, he's still a god tree belonging to a race of alien parasites who have a god complex. Naruto's crime is a great one that he needs to be punished for, which is he didn't just kill one god, he killed multiple gods and specifically played a role in killing each of them. Even if he didn't dish out the final blow, he played a very vital role, which goes back to the deity Mahakala, punishing people who have committed sin. Naruto and Sasuke performed the 6-batch Shibaku Tensei on Kaguya, which drained her chakra to absolute zero. And it's confirmed via Zetsu's statement in volume 72 of Naruto that he needs to resurrect Kaguya, not unseal Kaguya, and the Boruto movie novel, and multiple other source materials that state that Kaguya got killed in this moment, which I go over in extensive detail in my Is Kaguya Alive or Dead video. So I'm not going to repeat those points. If you still have doubts, watch that video. But we also have to remember that Naruto gave Boruto the chakra needed to kill Fuse Momoshiki, and he did the heavy lifting in that battle that resulted in Kawaki killing Ishiki. He's basically got the blood of 3 gods on his hands and Mahakala, the being associated with the Daikokuten, the same dimension that Naruto sealed away in, just happens to have another thing that he punishes people for. Any sins against the 3 great jewels of Buddhism. That is important because the 3 great jewels, or the 3 great treasures of Buddhism, just happen to be in a wheel pattern that has spokes of the Dharma Will Eye that Ishiki and Kawaki possess. There's more additional spokes in the eye that you have with Ishiki and Kawaki. However, the resemblance is still there. Naruto directly took down 3 of the Otsutsuki who were listed on the wall that Sasuke discovered in Ishiki's dimension, which it should be worth noting, Kenshiki allowed himself to be absorbed by Momoshiki following clan laws, so that's a willing sacrifice, whereas Kaguya and Momoshiki and Ishiki were all taken out while resisting Naruto. 3 Otsutsuki who have God complex, 3 gems of Buddhism, 3 Otsutsuki who possess the Dharma Will Eye. Ishiki and Kawaki had it completely, Jigen had it incompletely, but still had the eye nonetheless. Now we have Jura, who appears to have taken some inspiration from the deity associated with Daikokuten, and Jura's name pretty much means honored one, depending on how you interpret the translation of his name. This goes back to what I said years ago when discussing Kurama's death, and how Kurama's death fit into the confines of a bigger picture for the story of Naruto sequel. Naruto, the 72 volumes, was a story of samsara, the cycle of life, death, and rebirth, and a lot of the powers that we saw were associated with samsara, in particular the strongest powers of the Naruto verse throughout the 72 volumes of Naruto and the bonus volume Naruto Gaiden, the 7th Hokage, and the Scarlet Spring. Those abilities were all linked in samsara to some degree. This ultimately set the stage for the sequel to Naruto. Boruto Naruto Next Generations was a story of father and son. A father who just happened to be the embodiment of samsara, and whose story was a story of samsara, and the son was stated by Ikimoto to have stayed rooted in a pursuit of breaking the familiar bonds and expectations in order to reach his own path. Essentially, he's chasing enlightenment that comes when one transcends beyond samsara. Hence, a story of father and son. The father is samsara, the son is trying to break out of samsara. That's why in chapter 1, it had Boruto say at the very start that this is the story of me and my father, but only at the start, i.e. Boruto Naruto Next Generations, and that this is my story, and that the story of the boy who wanted to be Hokage is done. In this story, we got introduced to beings who the mother of samsara in the Naruto manga, Kaguya, wrote down specifically by name in the Boruto manga that she was afraid of via Momoshiki and Kenshiki saying, quote, a pair of invaders are coming because she ate the chakra fruit. We got introduced to Ishiki, the Otsutsuki who outranked Kaguya and possessed the eye pattern after the Dharma Will Eye, the 8 trifold path that is connected to the 4 noble truths and associated with the enlightenment that one seeks when they go beyond the cycle of samsara. Just as we were told, there were beings beyond Kaguya that Sasuke was afraid of when he briefed Naruto, Shikamaru, Sasuke.
And Sasuke's prediction came true. There were beings beyond Kaguya. Sasuke predictions
and the 4 Boruto Kages in the flashback in Naruto Gaiden. These Shinju, in particular Jura, have awakened and evolved and are seeking enlightenment, and the path for the one named Jura consists of him wanting to consume Naruto, which obviously he won't do, but it explains why Boruto even said when the story shifts to only being Boruto's story, his father still plays a role, but nonetheless, it is still Boruto's story. I love this decision to have Jura be the one who is targeting Naruto and the connection to Mahakala and the Daikokuten where Naruto is sealed away. But that being said, if you haven't seen the chapter review already, make sure to click the link that you see on the screen here to watch it.
This is it for this video. Thank you.